And we'll start in our usual way. We're going to start with a seated breath meditation. So find yourself comfortably in your seat. We're going to be here for a while, so make sure your seat is actually comfortable enough to be in for a while. Sit up tall, top of the pelvis tilted slightly forward, just to get your good posture, right? We want to feel like we're engaged in this first practice, this first sitting practice, like we're ready, right? So settling your weight into your hips, maybe tilting the top of your pelvis forward or back, just to suss out what capacity you have deep inside your pelvis. And then begin to breathe and feel the sensations of your breath. So you set your base. Now breathe for sensation. Now you might notice immediately that you're bracing somewhere in your belly and it's maybe limiting your breath. So that's your first clue that we are bound in the breath, in the lower dantian, in the belly. Okay, so you're set in your breath. You're letting your breath blossom in your body. Feel what's happening on your exhale as well. So as you find the pathway for the inhale through maybe some congestion in the belly, when you get to the top of your inhale, feel for your exhale. How can your exhale nurture you as well? Maybe you drop some bracing somewhere, or you come closer to some vulnerability. Let's do that again. Take an inhale. Find your way through congestion here gently. See if you can find something in the belly that can expand with your breath that might feel a little congested. Take your inhale as big as you can through the belly so that the belly is the last thing that expands. Hold your breath open at the top because you might discover new space. Relax a little bit at the top. Don't have to strain. Now just hold that for a few heartbeats and then decide to feel for your exhale. Don't rush your exhale. Let your exhale emerge in ways that feel nurturing to you. It might be a big one all at once. It might be a long, soft one. It might be centered in your heart. It might be down in your kidneys. And then take a natural in-breath, satisfying, no agenda other than to feel great. And make your exhale the same. No agenda other than to feel great. Take a nice luxurious inhale. Decide, you want to bring it into the strong spots, or you want to bring it up against something that feels a little weak. Use your breath the way you want. Fill in something and respond to the sensation. And at the top of your inhale, pause. What can you release? Let your exhale blossom. Feel whatever's releasing. Release. Notice where in the body you might be releasing. A physical place. Maybe it's your heart. Maybe it's your kidneys. Maybe it's your low belly that's releasing. Breathe in. Let things blossom here. Open up your inhale. Try to find some vitality here. We're going to start to move soon. Exhale. Feel this through your heart. Feel your exhale through your heart. Breathe into your solar plexus. And breathe out through your heart. Bring your spine to vertical and start to twist right and left. Twist through the core. Keep twisting and breathing, twisting and breathing. Okay, so what have we opened up here? Did you drop your shoulder down a little bit? Did you feel for the stretch? Did you let the stretch be the guide, or did you decide to structure your stretch? Did you decide you were going to stretch your shoulder, or did you let your shoulder blossom? There's bound to be a mix. If you let it blossom, that's more you being relating to the divine feminine, letting something, nurturing something that wants to emerge, being receptive. And if you were structuring it, you were being more yang, more, how can I cultivate this garden? You're the gardener and less the garden. Okay, so let's get up, come into supported squat. Rock back and forth. If you can hear the music, if the music feels like it's going to contribute to your experience, let the music guide you here. Notice where the breath falls easily into the body and what sensations you might want to cultivate with the breath. Again, you can breathe into strength to build more strength, or you can breathe into strength to support weakness or vulnerability. So if you need to build more for your own power, just keep making yourself feel awesome. No agenda other than to feel awesome. That builds power. And if you want to stretch yourself into repair, healing, an edge of growth of some kind, of vulnerability, you come at it from a position of strength, feeding it with your breath here. So see if you can feel how the breath is literally feeding the way you feel in your body, and what movements you can make to make yourself feel that way. How good do you want to feel? And how can the breath assist you here? Rhythmic movement, we're pretty stable. If you need to come up because your thighs are tired or whatever, that's fine too. We're trying to cultivate vitality here. So whatever's going to feel good. And we're primarily looking for that sensation to emerge here in the belly. We're working on the lower dantian. We could say that this is part root chakra, part sacral chakra, and part solar plexus chakra. Energetically, biologically, it's the gut. How do we metabolize energy? So you can feel into how you get energy out of your body, out of the environment, into at the hands of your will, which is your solar plexus. You have to do that by cultivating energy in the body that comes from eating food and digesting it. Right? So the gut is your fire. It's your Agni, the source of your Agni. So how do you optimize the gut with the breath? How do you optimize the fire with the breath? This can be fire like fire of creation fire, like the sun. It can be fire like the fire of the warmth of a fire, of a wood fire, a campfire. It could be the warmth of passion. How does that feel in your gut? And how does your breath contribute to that? How you want to feel. All right, so the more we become aware of this, the more we can draw that energy up into the solar plexus where it becomes an act of will. And here we can sometimes find ourselves at risk because the will can cease to be attentive to the somatic experience and get totally caught up in the egoic narrative, what you think you should be doing instead of what you actually are feeling. So the more conscious we become of how we manage our heat, our fire, the more vigilant we must become to not become too yang. We want to be yin enough to absorb and let things blossom from our fire. Okay, so let's come into stillness. You should be feeling heat in the thighs, radiating into the belly. The tail is tucked under enough to feel supported in your heels. Now let's drop the hips down a little and then bring them up. Now when you bring them up, you're going to press into your feet, press down into the mat, engage the glutes all the way up the sides of the leg. Drop down, press against the outsides of your ankles here, the outsides of your feet. Feel that tension in the outside of the knee. Have control, press down, force yourself into self-resistance. Straighten the legs. Feel that now through the glutes. How does that heat the low back? Drop down. Press to the outsides of the feet. Draw the knees slightly in. Press into your heels. Try to launch yourself. Frog medicine. Think of a frog's legs. Launching the frog, but don't launch. Inch your way up through there. What muscles would you engage if you had to press yourself up? And where would your weakness be, right? Feel that. And then you extend your legs and you line up the bones and use the bones to support the sense of force down into the ground. Take a breath. Okay, bend the knees gently. Walk the heels in, the toes in, the heels in, the toes in, and shake it out. All right, so that was a lot of static energy relating to a lot of inner movement of energy, right? This is the Neigong, right? Mapping the energy currents inside the body and relating them to ways of expressing them through your posture. Okay, let's see. So we're going to go from the solar plexus more to the heart. So let's find an easy Tadasana. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Turn the palms forward. Feel the blossoming. When we do an external rotation of the arms in this posture, it's a heart opener. Can you feel your heart opening? If not, just draw your chin slightly back and lift your collarbones. Don't swing back into your low back. Just lift your upper chest, lengthen through the upper back so that you can draw your collarbones back. Let your shoulder blades tuck behind your back like angel wings. Feel the muscles that ride on top of the shoulder blades. Feel the contours of the fascia. That's the stuff that we hear that goes clickety-clack. Feel around in there. Take a nice big inhale right here. Exhale, sweep the arms slowly up and back, opening the chest on your exhale. Now stay here. I want you to see my hands are facing. Inhale, reach up. Lift the chest, open the heart space. Open your heart here. Let your heart be open, maybe a little vulnerable here, whatever that feels like to you. Stay here for your exhale. Inhale again into your heart. Lifting your heart, opening the space behind your heart as well. Fill up the back body here too. This whole pericardium, the container of the heart. Breathe into it. Stay here for your exhale. And we're going to do that again. We're going to breathe around the heart and see if we can expand that gently into a bigger space. Remember the Grinch? 3 sizes that day. Inhale. Just keep drawing the breath into this space. Let this be the place where the breath is destined to expand. So you can coach it or you can let it blossom, but that's where it's going. What do you want to stretch here as you feel this? Okay, I'm going to interlace my fingers and I'm going to draw my arms up and my shoulders a little bit more open. I want to keep opening up. I want to rotate to open my chest more, to open my arms more. Makes it easier for me to breathe, and I want to breathe big here. So actually, you see that I've actually bent my knees. Try bending your knees here, tucking your tail, lining up your spine, and see what that does to your capacity to open up your heart space. Recruit the knees, the hips, the glutes into the practice of opening your heart. How can they help? They can provide heat. They can provide structure, strength. They can provide mobility and balance. Breathe. Two more. In. Out. Nice and long, slow, steady exhale. And again, in. Keep drawing the breath in. When you get to the top, hold it open. And out. Go ahead and release your hands. Your arms down to the sides. And release the posture. How's your heart feel? Is it open? Okay. Let's sit. So if you're like me, I feel like I've cracked off a bunch of old brambly wood from around my heart. The sensation is of a dry, cracked, fibrous material. Now, how does that come to be? Maybe there's some analog to the way my fascia has formed in there and where I've gotten stuck. So if you've got any sensation here from that exercise, if you've got any sensation in your heart space, start to breathe into it and see what unfolds, right? So we're breathing, using the breath to nurture the sensations that we're experiencing in our heart space. And we have some physical ones because we just did a big practice. So let's breathe. You'll notice that there's a bunch of choices about how you take your inhale. Start feeling around for what feels good first. Don't even try to figure it out. Just choose to breathe into your heart space or into the sensations of your heart, however feels best. And just witness where the breath goes. You just invite the breath to nurture those sensations in whatever way it can. down. All you do is provide support. Notice the physicality of your heart space, your shoulder blades, your lats, your pectorals and deltoids. Any residual energy in the underside of the arm. How do you want to move your body here? How do you want to move your heart space? Stretch. Maybe you want to interlace your fingers and press the heart space back. Breathe softly into the back body. Does this feel vitalizing? How can you make it vitalizing? What would you change? Would you tuck your chin? Would you press the kidney space back? Would you breathe into the heart again? Maybe you lean forward so that you can breathe more into the heart. There's lots of things you can do here. How are you going to feed your body with sensation in your heart space? But also we need to build some energy. We just went through an exercise, so now we need to revitalize. A couple more breaths here. Whatever it is you want to do with your arms, with your chest, with your back. And if you kind of lost track, ask yourself, where am I optimizing? What do I want to feel? All of this movement, all of this breathing is doing something to the way I feel. Am I paying attention? Is it my heart space? Is it my solar plexus? Do I want something in the back of my neck? So we're going to move up actually now to the throat, to the high heart and the throat. So we started sort of at the solar plexus, built a little bit from the ground up. We talked about the belly, then we talked about the solar plexus and the heart, and did some heart work. Now we're moving up to the throat. So feel around up there. What do you feel up here? Really, it's the line of the collarbones out to the shoulders and then down to the heart space, this upper triangle. You feel up in there. Now, we've played around with the triangle on the opposite side, right? Functional mobility realignment. We draw the chin in and focus on the sensation back there. Let's focus on the sensation in the front. How do you stretch that space? What can you feel in that space? In expressing yourself into that space, right, this triangle, where do you feel like, oh, I can't, I'd like to go there, but I can't because my shoulder hurts when I do that, right? There's something in the way. Oh, my back, I can't lean back that far. Whatever it might be. Just notice that and breathe into the space that allows that to transform, right? So we're not really trying to fix it, we're just giving it space and the breath. So whatever it is whatever vulnerability you're exposing yourself to, let it be so. And see what blossoms there. Feed it with the breath. Is some bracing perhaps dissolving? Are you able to lean slightly differently? Okay, let's come back to that triangle. And let's move the head around and feel around in this upper triangle, the high heart into the throat. So we're going to do the same thing that we often do with the neck. We're going to feel into the neck. Let the sensations arise and let it cue us as to how fast and how far to move into this kind of terrain, because we're not going to hurt anything. We're going to always approach vulnerability from a position of strength, which means zero momentum, because that's the only way you actually have the ability to land gracefully, is with zero momentum, which means a lot of control. And just be in control of your body and the sensations that arise in your neck. Explore where you want to explore and let something blossom. Feed it with the breath. That's it. That's what we do. How can you move your neck in a way that feels nurturing to your neck? Feed it with the breath. Combinations of tilt and twist, carrying you through terrain that you might want to explore right now, so in which case you go back over it, or you might want to come back to later, but you know that you're tender there. Just keep lubricating the joint with synovial fluid, round and around. Feeling the stretch in the base of the skull, right where it connects to the top vertebrae. Draw the base of the skull towards the sky. Tuck the chin in and straighten the back of the neck. Chin back and down. We're just not doing the up part. Back and down. Breathe into the base of the skull, the top of the neck. Let's come to tabletop. We'll do a little cat and cow. Hands directly beneath the shoulders, knees directly beneath the hips. Inhale, lift the tail, drop the belly, draw the chest forward. Exhale, tuck the chin, press down into the hands, spread the shoulder blades, feel the space behind the heart, press to the sky. When you're doing these real slow, so make your breath last. Inhale again to cow, lift the tail, chest forward, stretch the belly. Can you find a way to stretch the belly? Or maybe it's the base of the ribs. Don't do it at the expense of your back. You have to do this from a position of strength. So what do you need to do to support a stretch in your belly? Maybe you need to tuck your tail just a touch to support the low back. Exhale to cow, press down. To cat, press down. Spread the shoulder blades. Tuck the chin a little. What blossoms here on your exhale? What can you release? What can you let go here? Then with enough energy left, start your inhale to cow. Trace the path of your inhale through your sensation, right? There's a space, there's a place where that breath is coming in. And you get to move that around a little bit. How does it make you feel good? The breath makes you feel good as you come into cow. Exhale to cat. Press down, spread the shoulder blades, tuck the chin. Start to flatten through the hips. So we're going to tuck the tail a little bit more to press the space by the kidneys more towards the sky. Hold the breath open here at the bottom. And then with a little energy, choose to breathe in. Let's build some energy, some heat here. A nice, strong, kind of bold inhale to cow. Long and steady. Exhale to cat, press down, spread the shoulder blades, tuck the chin, tuck the tail, press the kidney space towards the sky. Feel the whole back open up here, all the way down to the tail. Let's quick inhale to cow again. Big inhale. No agenda but to feel good here. Breathe in. Stay here for your exhale. Inhale again here. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Big inhale. Where's the extra space? Keep drawing the breath in. Manage your Mula Bandha here. Keep drawing the breath in. Hold it open at the top. What blossoms at the top? Let your body relax into it. Maybe there's more room. And then slowly exhale. Press yourself into cat by exhaling firmly, long and slow. Take a breath in here in cat. Feed the body with the breath. Whatever the body wants now. Breathe. You might feel a little congestion in the heart space. You might feel a little congestion in the solar plexus. Maybe it's still down in the belly. Breathe in. Exhale. Try to open the spaces in your energetic spaces here in the body. Solar plexus and heart space. High heart and throat. Inhale into this space. We're in cat here. Exhale. Just enough cat to feel the back blossom here. Inhale. Exhale to neutral. Curl the toes under. Lift the hips, downward dog. Stretch into your downward dog. So the first thing we're going to do is protect the shoulders. So before we try to do anything in the shoulders, before we try to shift weight around anywhere, we're going to externally rotate the shoulders, the upper arms, so that the shoulders lock in place. And everything we do from here includes maintaining this lock. It's a muscular lock. It's not a joint lock. You're holding this in place. Make this a priority. Then press your hands, squeeze your hands slightly towards the middle, or you can just lower some weight, some extra weight into the thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger. But feel around here for what feels good. Don't do one thing. Your hand is a very malleable platform. You can apply pressure in a very sophisticated way through your hand. So do that so that your wrists feel good. Spread the weight where it can be borne without discomfort. Use muscles to do that. Redistribute your weight, change the posture, change the angle of your down dog if you have to. Nurture the hands and the wrists with the appropriate load. You're pressing down. Shoulders are in place. Wrists are in place. Now we're ready to explore. Take a breath in. What do you feel? Maybe nothing. Maybe boring. Exhale. What's settling into place on your exhales? Feel anything in your shoulders here? Remember to refresh that external rotation. Inhale. Maybe we're breathing into this heart space, high heart space, throat space, shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, take the knees to the mat, hips to heels, stretch the bottom of the feet. Okay, let's warm the wrists. We were just in our down dog for a while there, so let's get these wrists going. Appropriate twisting of the forearm. All right, curl the toes under, downward dog. Take your right leg straight up. Bend the knee, bring the foot forward between the hands. Rock back and forth. Find grounding in your back foot. Press down into your front leg. We're going to go all the way up. Inhale up. Exhale, drop in. Big breath. We should feel really good doing this now. Inhale, reach back. Feel it. Palms together. Exhale, twist towards the bent knee. Elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen through the back heel. Exhale, soften the belly, deepen the twist, mind your balance. Look up. See if you can hold your balance here. Where's the breath go? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Lift the elbow, hold the twist. Exhale, unwind with zero momentum. Inhale, reach back, mind your balance as your weight drops into your back foot. Exhale, zero momentum. Feel it all the way down. Hands to the mat. Back to plank. Find your plank quickly. Take a nice breath in. Chaturanga, exhale. Elbows stay in as you come down. External rotation of the upper arms. Inhale to upward dog. Gently in your up dog, what do you want to feel here? How do you use the muscles and the awareness of your upper chest, neck, throat, heart space, upper back to support your up dog? That's the most grounded part. Drops right through your arms into the mat. So maybe you draw that chest forward a little bit. Maybe you draw your chin back. Maybe you press down so that the low back is unloaded. Maybe you recruit your hips here. Tuck your tail to protect your low back and still press forward. Take a breath in here in a nice enlivened up dog. And feel the transition to downward dog. Tuck your chin. Feel the movement. Don't just get there. Be on the journey. Okay, what's the first thing we're going to do? Set the shoulder. The next thing we're going to do, float the wrist. Then we're going to press the chest towards the toes. Lift the tail. Stack the bones. Let the weight pour straight down into the mat through the hands and the feet. And the hips, the sacrum, the belly, the glutes, and the thighs can all just rest. And gravity can sink you down without even moving. We're draining energy out of the bones, out of the fascia. We just set ourselves up for gravity to do the work. Breathe. Feed that process with your breath. Oh, we got to do the other side, don't we? Okay. Inhale. Take the left leg straight up. Bend the knee. Bring the foot forward between the hands. Rock back and forth. Find grounding in your back foot. Ready? Press down into your front foot. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, drop in. What does that feel like? Inhale, reach back. Feel that reach. Pressing down into your front foot, managing the balance in your back foot, tucking the tail a little bit, feeling that hip flexor open. Where's the breath going? Exhale, twist towards the bent knee. Elbow to knee. Inhale, find length in the body. Fill yourself up. Find space. Exhale, soften your belly. Deepen your twist. Mind your balance as you look up. Find stability here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Where's the breath going? Find it. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Lift the elbow, hold the twist. Exhale with zero momentum back to the midline. Inhale, reach back. Mind your balance as the weight comes into the back foot. Feel that glorious open stretch, open the heart, front body's open. Exhale, zero momentum, hands to the mat. Back to plank. Set your shoulders. Breathe into your plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows stay in. Inhale, weight forward into the palms. Craft your upward dog. Don't just throw yourself there. Make it beautiful. What do you want to feel here? Using your arms, your shoulders, your heart space to craft the experience of expansion in the front body. The back has to be nurtured too. You can't stay here. What's your authentic capacity here? One more inhale. Tuck the chin, lift the hips. Feel your transition to downward dog. As soon as you land in down dog, soften for a moment, take a breath, and then lock your shoulders in. Just make sure they're set. Float the wrists, pressing down into the palms, into the fingertips. Lift the tail. Stretch through the shoulder girdle. Lengthen from wrist to hip. Feel yourself stacked here. What can you unbrace here? How can you rest in your downward dog? Now take your right leg straight up. Bend the knee. Bring the knee forward. Ground it behind the right wrist. And as you begin to draw your left knee down to the mat, square your hips. Don't even touch that knee down yet. Square your hips so you feel where the stretch comes in the glute. And then bring your knee down to the mat. Maybe you walk it back a little. Now you're set right at the front edge of your resistance. Let yourself soften. But breathe into it. Melt your way in. Encounter your resistance. Back off. Let heat and gravity do most of the work. And you just kind of pilot the craft as it comes in for a landing, right? Your weight is dropping through your tissues. Gravity, this is the description of gravity in your body right here, this contour of sensation. Let yourself sink and melt with gravity. It doesn't have to be fast. It could be like a glacier melting, or it could be like ice cream on a hot summer day, or frosting off a cake. A couple more breaths here. Can you be soft? One more big, luxurious inhale here. Take your time. In. Let it blossom a little bit. Exhale. Take the hands beneath the shoulders. Press down. Use your arms to press your body, your torso up. Walk your back knee in until the weight drops into your palms. Press down into your hands, lift your hips, extend the leg gently, gracefully. Shake it out. Like a cat shakes its leg when it comes out of the water. Downward dog. Set your shoulders, float your wrists. Nice big inhale, take the left leg up. Bend the knee. Bring the knee forward, ground it behind the left wrist. Rotate the lower leg forward a little or a lot, depending on how bendy you feel. Square your hips before you bring the knee down in the back. And let that squareness be the marker for where you land your knee, right onto that edge of your resistance. Now, you might not be as flat through the thigh as me. You might have a much bigger bend in your hip. You might be like here. That's where you are. But as long as you're rolling inward against that internal rotation resistance, you're doing it right. And then let yourself surrender down that line into gravity. Let gravity do the work. All you're doing is stacking yourself so that when gravity does do its work, it feels good. You're just gonna, it's like a glider pilot. You're gonna let gravity do the work. You're just gonna steer it a little bit. Breathing into what you find. A few more breaths here. You might notice here where you've been breathing. You've been breathing into your tummy, your belly, lower dantian work that we did earlier. Was it more in your solar plexus? Was it up in your heart? Maybe higher? Was it in your back? Where were you just breathing? Just check again and breathe into that space and see what it was interested in. What was it? What did it need? Take the hands beneath the shoulders. Press the body up, walk the back knee in until the weight drops into the palms. Curl the back toes under, lift the hips. Shake the leg out. Just like a cat coming out of the water. And walk your downward dog now. Press your chest towards your toes. Rotate your straight side hip towards the sky. Side to side. Can you get that stretch up into the side belly, side ribs? Just by twisting. Feel it. Go as far as feels good. You don't have to go super far. If it doesn't feel good, don't go that far. Find the sweet spot and hang out there. I'm feeling a stretch, particularly through the outside of my right shoulder, along the side, the outer edge, that shoulder blade into the shoulder joint where I have some damage. I feel like I can stretch that for the first time and safely. Like it's warm enough underneath it to stretch it. Okay. Maybe you found something too. Let's take the knees to the mat. Come to a seat. Sit up tall. Now we're going to make circles with the heart space. So we're just going to start drawing the heart forward and out to the side, and then back. Hold on to your shins, out to the side and forward. And I want you to make the circle that is your heart as flat as possible. And I want you to recruit other parts of your body, your hips, your knees, your abdominal obliques, your hip flexors, your glutes, to make this a beautiful symphony of movement. Even though it just looks like you're making circles with your heart, feel into the connections between where you're weak and where you're strong. Pressing the heart space round and around in a circle as beautiful as you can make it. And it'll feel like you're making it beautifully if you actually can feel your way around. We want to feel into places. When we find stuff that we habitually skip over, that's the place where we want to go back and investigate. Okay, so you could be in a nice warm inner circle here because that's where you feel vitalized, or you can be in a big outer circle, stretching everything you can find and reach. Whichever is making you feel better right now, and you're recruiting the muscles of your core, your abdominal obliques, your stabilizers, your balance muscles, the muscles of your shoulders, back, and neck. You feel all that? All being recruited to make this circle with the heart. So there's a lot we can be paying attention to here. Let's change directions next time around so you have a little advance notice. Next time you bring your heart as far back as possible, come to a stop, nice gentle stop. Feel that place of stability for a moment. Where did you land? There's no right or wrong answer. It's just, how does it feel in that spot? And you're right behind your heart. And then start the trajectory of the circle in the other direction. And feel what muscles engage. Feel what sensations arise around your heart. And start making a beautiful symphony of movement here again in this direction. Simple, but very rich if you're paying attention. How do you press down with one knee? Are you pressing down and away? Are you pressing down and in? What's happening? The inner thighs. What about your abdominals? What are they doing? What do you feel in your sacrum when you hinge forward? Can you find a stretch for your sacrum by hinging forward? All in the service of moving the heart around and around. So what this is doing is, this is letting the heart space, the sensation around the heart, be the guiding principle, right? And we recruit the rest of the body to help make this happen, and then we feel into what's happening in the rest of the body and say, do I like this? Can I make myself feel better by doing this? And if the answer is yes, you found a point of meditation for active somatic meditation. And you just keep breathing through it. Rhythmic movements that induce a kind of trance, but you're locking into complex energy movements inside the body that help you find, feel, flex, and stretch components of your body that you might not even have known you had. So let's come up to neutral. Breathe into the heart space. What's going to feel good here? If you want to find a posture here that feels like a good stretch, I might recommend Janu Shirsasana, feeling a stretch in the back body if you like. one side at a time. Or you might choose to lay down onto your back with your knees spread wide and the diamond duplicated with your arms, and lift your belly. You might even do that with a block under your sacrum, supported bridge. But the idea is to open up the front body. Whichever one feels good to you. Janushirasana, opening up the back body, feeling the long stretch through the back, the muscles along the spine, the top of the sacrum, through the pelvis, through the glute, into the hamstring, right? We go all the way down. You want to feel that. If you point your toes towards your nose, you get the calf stretch too. If you do Janushirasana, make sure you get to both sides. You can go back and forth a couple times if you want. You'll have time to finish. And if you've got your feet and arms in bound triangle or bound angle, draw your kidneys towards your glutes, lifting the belly. Just make that little bridge of muscle. Engage and support the front body and let your belly soften and open here. Right back to the beginning. Did we have anything in our bellies that could be cleansed? Our Agni, our interface with the world, how we draw energy into ourselves from the world, here in our bellies. We need to cleanse anything, let anything go. Support that with the low back, firm, strong. Be very delicate here. Now, a few more breaths for both of us. If you're in Janushirasana, you should be on the other side. You're hopefully almost ready to finish up on that side. And for those of us in front body opener, gently draw your elbows down towards your ribs. Take your hands down to your thighs. Use your hands to help loft your thighs into the air. Draw the knees together. Let's everybody come down onto our backs. Knees in the air, arms out to the sides. Drop the knees to the right. Look left. Press the hands towards the sides of the room. Breathe into the space behind your heart. In. And out. Again. In. And out. One more time. In. Keep drawing the breath in. Hold it open at the top. Luxurious and open. Stretch towards the sides of the room. Exhale. Draw the knees back to the midline. Drop the knees to the left. All the way down onto your hips. Look right. Reach the arms towards the sides of the room. Breathe into the space behind your heart. In. Out. Again, in. Deeper and more open. Let yourself blossom here. Out. Last one. In. Keep drawing the breath in. Hold it open at the top. Stretch towards the sides of the room. And out. Bend the knees. Draw the knees back to the midline. Press down into the floor. Shake your hips. Maybe tap, tap, tap your sacrum on the mat a few times. Draw the knees in. Grab the feet for happy baby and rock and release. You can let gravity do the work here too. Just line yourself up so that when gravity starts to melt you, it feels good. And just a happy baby. Maybe you feel a stretch in your sacrum. All right. Let's take the feet long on the mat for Shavasana. Feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Ankles and thighs soft and relaxed. Slight tuck of the chin to create length in the back of the neck. Shoulder blades flat on the mat. Elbows slightly bent, palms up. Feel the energy of your practice. Feel into all the spaces you explored. Remember the belly, the solar plexus, the sensations all the way up through the heart space, the high heart, the shoulders, how we locked in our downward dogs. It's all there. You can remember it. Just let it soak in. You don't have to do anything. Let it be. With your breath, you can blossom this wisdom inward into your tissues. The prana finding its way into your body through your breath. The energy of your practice is the surface that it surfs on. Nurture your body with your breath. Relaxing every muscle and joint. Softening. Everything from the hardness of your bones to all of the water in your body as if you were a pond or a sea, your aqueous nature. Gravity, the breath, and the energy of your practice. Just bring your awareness back. As you feel into your body and sink into the embrace of the planet. Wherever you are in your journey of Shavasana, Bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel the coolness of the breath entering into the body through your nose. Feel that coolness flowing down the back of the throat, through the heart space, through the belly, all the way down to the root. A cool breeze through a narrow tunnel. All the way down. Feel it all the way down. We can bring the breath all the way down. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Flex the wrists and ankles. Take a big deep breath in, arms up overhead. Inhale. Feel where the breath goes. Make it luxury. Make fists. Exhale. You can exhale and inhale at your leisure. Make fists. Bend the fists in. Stretch the back of your wrists. Feel the stretch in the back of your forearms. Engage the triceps and shoulders with a gentle squeeze. Chest and back with a squeeze. Belly, squeeze. Hips, glutes, and thighs, squeeze. Calves and feet, squeeze. Reach. Inhale. Exhale, release. Roll onto your left side. Draw your knees up into a fetal position for just a breath or two. We have to come back to the world. One more breath in. Exhale. Press down with your right hand, then your left. Use your arms to walk your body up. And we'll close our practice. Sit up nice and tall. Find your balance. Inhale, arms up. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Two more. Arms out. Inhale, up. Activate the fingers. Reach. Exhale, hands to the heart. Last one. Keep drawing the breath in even after you're full. Arms up. Reach back. Lift the chest. Open the side ribs. Draw the breath in. Hold it open at the top. Reach. Big inhale. Blossom. Blossom. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's take our hands to our forehead as a reminder to practice the power of kind thoughts. And to our lips as a reminder to practice the power of kind words. And to our hearts as a reminder to practice kind intention and kind action. And for this beautiful spring evening, in this magnificent part of the world, such interesting times with such interesting company, and for this precious practice, I am truly grateful. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. I really, really, really am glad that you guys came.